So Ken, what we're doing here is we just want to hear your story. So you said you told me you were born in Kansas,
Hutchinson, Kansas,
Hutchinson, Kansas. In what year?
1927.
1927. And so tell siblings.
I had two brothers and a sister.
Okay.
I had an older brother, then the sister, and then me, and then my younger brother.
So you weren't the youngest.
I was next to the bottom.
All right. So you got away with everything because the younger ones get away with everything.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
So tell me, what was it like growing up in the 20s? I mean, that was the Depression.
You know, I loved the farm.
Yeah.
I was a farm boy because
Okay.
I loved it. I used to drive two great big old monstrous horses, and,
All right.
and plow fields every day, and get too hot, you go jump in the cow pond, cool off, and
So what's your fondest childhood memory?
my mom,
Tell me about her.
we had an old wood stove.
Uh-huh.
We had no electricity, and that wood stove, she could make the best biscuits and pies that you ever saw.
Yeah.
And she could make good stuff. And then, of course, butchering. We'd butcher once a year, and I love pork tenderloins.
Got them
Yeah.
yourself. It sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something that I don't think I would ever understand. So-
And sausage gravy, and but that's still my favorite though.
Yeah.
Sausage gravy and biscuits. That's every Saturday morning.
That was the Saturday morning ritual with your mom, hey?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Ruth.
Ruth.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Then things changed in your teen years, didn't it? What happened in your teens?
Well, we moved from one farm to a dairy,
Okay.
and of course, you know, dairies are a lot of work.
Yeah.
You milk the cows in the morning, you milk the cows at night, and in between you feed them, and you know the whole bit.
Yeah.
But dairies were fine, but it wasn't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I become 16 years old,
Yep.
I told my dad, I said, Dad, I'm going to join the Navy. My older brother was in the National Guard, and they called him up before the war started.
Okay.
And so he was in the Army. And so I told Dad, I said, I don't want to die in a foxhole,
Uh-huh.
so I'll join the Navy. So I did,
From Kansas,
yes.
where there's lots of water.
Oh, yeah. I was seasick before I ever left the dock.
So your brother was in the Army, though?
Yes.
Okay.
And he went to Europe, and I went to the other
Pacific,
way,
yeah.
in Japan. I mean, Guam. And so when I told Dad at 16 I was going to join the Navy, he said, well, you're not old enough. Now I said, well, I'm going to join anyway. So I went and signed up, but they wouldn't take me until I was 17, so I had to wait 2 more months before
Okay.
they'd take me. But
But you signed up at 16.
yeah.
So the war was already in progress. So what made you join at 16?
Because my brother was in the Army, and I said, if he can fight for our freedom, I can too.
Huh.
And so I was just the way I was. I just 16 I joined, and our school class, most of them were seniors,
Right.
and I was a junior. So, but at the end of the school year was right after May 10th, my birthday, so I joined and went with them. And we all went together.
Huh.
So,
So did they all go into the same branch of service, or did
no,
they...
we all went to the Navy.
You did?
All went to the Navy, went to Great Lakes for training, and lots of us ended up in Guam together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So tell me a little bit about because somewhere in there's a sweetheart that you meet and marry. So is that before or after?
That was after.
All right, so.
That was after I went to high school to get my diploma,
Okay.
and that's when I met my wife at that time.
Okay. So, and So you didn't meet her before you went off to war?
No.
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 So did you stay in touch with the gentleman with whom you served?
We went back, let's see, I don't remember what year. Our 50th graduation party they had.
Yeah.
And we met, re-met, a bunch of us
Yeah.
Navy guys got together. So
Oh,
we had a
man.
good time.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Talked about old times.
Well, before we go on to you tell me about your wife, I know I speak on behalf of our company. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
That
Yes.
to think of a 16-year-old going off to fight is,
Well,
is
I don't know. That's just the way it was. I just,
well, for what it's worth, for someone that wasn't even alive at the time. Thank you.
you bet.
So now let's get to the good stuff.
Tell us about the woman that stole your heart, Ken.
Or
Well-
did you back her into corner and make her? That's what we need to do.
No, she cornered me.
Oh, that's okay. That's right. That
Yeah.
happened with my wife too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it does, you know.
These good-looking guys like this, we
Sure.
get it all the time.
Sure.
So, tell me about your wife.
Well, she, I thought she was the perfect one for me.
Why so?
Well, she, I don't know. I just thought she was very friendly, very nice and everything. But it didn't last though. Well, it lasted 25 years. But,
Okay.
but
Wait, what was her name?
It shouldn't have lasted that long.
So, what's her name?
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Yeah.
So I think we all want to know, how did you ask her to marry you?
Well, we went. We was always going to school dances and all that kind of stuff, you know. And we were still in high school. Well, went back to high school, but and I met her there at a dance one time, and I don't know. We just kind of hit it off, and so we got involved with each other, and we said, "Well, let's get married." Okay.
So now, tell me about your second wife then. Tell me about Deborah's mother.
Deborah's mother, Verna.
Verna?
Verna. We used to go, when I first got, well, she invited me over for a cup of coffee one night, or one evening. And so I said, okay. So I went over.
There's coffee.
What the heck? I get him a cup of coffee. So I got over there and we sat down, we talked for a little bit. And she said, do you dance?
I'm picking up a theme here. You're using dances to.
I said, yeah, I dance. And she said, well, why don't we just go on out to the Silver Saddle and dance a little while? And I said, fine, let's go. So I never did get my cup of coffee, but we went out and danced 7 nights a week for I don't know how long. We was out there dancing 7 nights a week. After we got married, we continued dancing 7 nights a week. I'd get up, we'd get in the house about between 12 and 2 every night, you know.
Yeah.
Get up at 6 o'clock, eat breakfast, and go to work all day.
And then out dancing again.
I don't know how I done it, but I did it. But it was fun.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed ourselves, and that's how we learned what each other liked and what didn't like, and
All right.
so. And then later on, she got Alzheimer's.
Oh.
And she had it for about 5 years.
So you were primary caregiver for her too then?
Yes. And I took care of her. Well, poor thing. We'd go to bed at night and just get in bed and you're just about to sleep. She'd jump up and say, get that man out of here.
Really?
Yeah. And I said, who's here? She said, that guy's wallpapering up the wall over there. I said, okay. So this went on, I don't know how many nights.
Sure.
And she'd wake me up about 2 or 3, 4 times a night. And then finally I decided, well, use your head, old man. Close the door. Maybe he can't come in. You know, so I did. And by golly, that done it.
Just by doing that, just by moving the chair?
Just by closing the bedroom door.
There you go.
But But then she she fell 2-3 times. You had to put a shunt in her head, and she was having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
So, excuse the language.
Well, I've never heard that word before.
But anyway, she got to the point that I just couldn't take care of her anymore and do her justice, and me either. And I was going downhill with her.
Yeah.
And so I put her in the University of Healthcare, and she fell twice trying to get out of her wheelchair to come up. She was going to come home up to our apartment and see me.
Yeah.
Well, she'd get up out of her wheelchair and fall.
Oh, no.
But the last time she done that, why, she never did come out of it. She just, I think she finally decided that was enough.
Okay.
Yeah, but I promised her before she passed away. She made me promise her that I would move in over here to Oakshire, because we was over here every day looking at it, make sure that they were progressing right. And so
she made you promise you're going to go to Oakshire?
Go to Oakshire, and the second promise was I'd go to Washington, D.C. on the honor flight. So.
Because you postponed your honor flight to take care of her.
I started out in 2005, and finally got there.
And so with that, tell me about your honor flight to Washington, D.C. That had to be pretty amazing.
Because again, I know she wanted you to have that.
Yes, and I fulfilled my promises to her. Then as soon as when she passed away, I put in my application and got accepted this year. So
okay,
that was fabulous.
Tell me about the highlight. I can't even imagine what goes through someone's mind on that.
Well, we went up to Loveland for a luncheon, get together so you can meet your guardians and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I met Jim Hull was my guardian.
Okay.
And he was my roommate also, and he was with me everywhere. You don't go nowhere without your guardian, and that was good.
Yeah.
And so when we got to the flight, time to go flying, we went to DIA, and we had to go in and then go down and get on the train and go back up to the boarding area. Yeah. Well, at the boarding area, they had all kinds of people lined up, kids lined up in 2 files.
Really?
And you had to walk down between them. And every one of them, all the kids especially, had to come over and shake your hand or give you a hug or something, And of course that brought tears also, Old man, he get teary-eyed. But anyway, that was fabulous.
And you hadn't even taken off yet.
No, we hadn't even got on the plane yet. So we got on this 737, and it was cloudy all the way from Denver to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And so we had to go up 30,000 feet to get over the clouds.
Yep.
And beautiful though.
Yeah, and you break through and see the sun.
Yeah. So we landed in Baltimore, and it was raining, of course.
Well, it's Baltimore. That's why we don't live there.
Right. And we got off the plane, and the same thing. Kids lined up just, God, I don't know how far, but on both sides. And there was a band there was playing the Army and the Navy and the Marine and the songs, and that was fabulous. And so we left the airport, got into the Hotel Hilton in Baltimore, and got all settled down and went down for our lunch or dinner rather. Next morning we had to get up at 5 o'clock, I think it was, get on the bus so we could go to Washington.
Okay.
So then we went over to Washington. The first stop was World War II Memorial, which is my favorite anyway, because that's what I was looking forward to.
And it's relatively a new memorial.
Yes, yes.
Which still fascinates me that one took so long.
Beautiful.
Ken, I can't even imagine what was going through your mind when you walked through all those memorials.
Yeah, you get all kinds of thoughts running around in your head, and the thing that really broke me up was that wall of stars. Each star was 1,000 dead. Wow. And that really tore me up. There was so many.
Yeah.
So then we went, well, there was 13 different ones that we went to, memorials.
They kept you busy.
Yeah, in 2 days. So
in 2 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the Navy one, I enjoyed that one too. So.
Well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, no love lost there.
Well, I don't know. It was just a good time.
Yeah.
Brought back so many memories that.
Hopefully good ones.
Most of them. Yeah, there was
sure.
a couple bad ones, but there were some good ones. So.
Wow. I hope at the very least you felt the gratitude of.
Oh. Yes.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, so here you are. You've experienced more in a lifetime than I think any of us will ever. From probably the worst of times to literally the best of times.
Yes, very true.
Finally, for all the young folks here, most who weren't alive when you did what you did for our country, what advice would you give them? What would you tell them if you could give them any piece of advice right now?
Oh, God.
Because you've, like I said,
just be, I don't know. Me, I was just always friendly. I was never outgoing too much, but I was friendly to everybody. I didn't care who it was, when it was, or what it was. I was always friendly to them. And you meet lots and lots of nice people. And then, of course, there's a few that isn't nice, but...
They end up marrying your daughters.
Yes.
You ever notice that? No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
I don't know. It's just be kind and nice,
Which in today's world, that's hard to find, isn't it?
It's hard to do. Yes.
Yeah. I do know I speak on behalf of the whole People Care company and family, and we say thank you for your service, and we say just thank you for contributing as you have to country, family, you name it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.